What a wild series this one was. It went right down to the last second between these two teams, the Dallas Stars, Seattle Kraken. Uh, Seattle really proved a lot of people wrong in this playoffs. They just looked absolutely electric. That offense was just flying at all times. But in the end, the Dallas Stars were just a little bit better in a very tight, hard-fought series.
Yeah, Seattle. Props to you guys, man. You guys had a terrific season. This is the insane. No one saw this coming. For you guys to even have 100 points, make the playoffs, and then to beat Colorado and go bring the Dallas Stars to the 7 games, impressive. This is a terrific season for you guys. Great job.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Also, the biggest improvement in a regular season from first-year team to second-year ever. Just truly incredible from being right at the bottom of the league, drafting like Shane Wright to actually getting to the playoffs is just impressive. And hats off to you guys, like just well done. But we got to talk a little bit about the Dallas Stars here first. Going to be advancing to the Western Conference Final. This team really, really changed their style in this round and really impressed me. The offense was buzzing in this series. Just absolutely incredible. I was so worried because they could not score any goals against the Wild unless they had a power play.
Yeah.
Like they were just like relying on getting power plays to win these games like 2-1, 3-1. But man, did this offense turn it up. And it starts with Mr. Joe Pavelski. This guy got hit by Matt Dumba and somehow unlocked superpowers. He came back after that concussion and scored 8 goals in this series. Are you kidding me? This is a 38-year-old player who had a 4-goal game one and then still managed to finish with 8 goals. Absolutely dominant.
The player I want to talk about is Max Domi. How about this guy? Hey, I called him out in the last video, in the preview video, to be the X Factor, and he became a real X Factor in this series. He had 8 points in this series. How impressive is that? Playing on the line, he found some really good chemistry with Marchman and Tyler Seguin.
And Pavelski when they played together for the 4-goal game there.
Yeah,
that was
insane.
Wild. No, man, Max Domi really proved us that he still had something left. I mean, his first series, I'll be honest with you guys, it was really bad, but he really showed up in this series, and he was a completely different player. He was more of the guy we saw earlier in this year when he was with Chicago, kind of taking over a bit, and I love to see it because I love Max Domi. It's just he needed to be better than round one, and he sure showed it. Other guys that really just stepped up, guys that may be lesser known, Wyatt Johnson, 20 years old, man. This kid continues to be great. 3 goals again in this series. They're getting just such a good contribution from their second and third line as well. It's not a one-line team, and it really has helped this team offensively. They were scoring like almost 5 goals a game.
Yeah, I want to shout out another player, Thomas Harley. Oh my gosh, led the all defensemen with 7 points. He's like, you know what, Heiskin, you can take a series off. I'll take the reins this time. I'll be the leading point getter for the defense corps for this series, and he did just that.
Well, like talk about another player who had a night and day switch off. His first series, this guy was taking bad penalties. He was minus. He just wasn't playing very good hockey. And this guy was absolutely electric in this series. Like he was all over. His defensive game went better. He took less penalties, and he was putting up points. This guy really stepped up big for Dallas. A lot of these younger players I'm noticing really stepping up big for the Stars right now. Looking at Seattle quickly, I thought they did pretty good in this series overall. Like once again, this was insanely close. I mean, it came right down to a shot with 4 seconds left in Game 7 to try to tie it. So, I mean, can't really complain too much about that. It was a good effort. Matty Beniers really bounced back. He only had the 1 goal and like 1 point in the first series against Colorado, but man, he really stepped up and offensively brought it in round 2.
I think a lot of players, like top 9 players on the forward group, actually all chipped in incredibly well. Yanni Gourde, you have McCann, you had Jordan Eberle, it just went in waves. Bjorkstrand put up some massive points. Wemberg, it just keeps going on. You just don't know who is gonna score because so many of these players were capable of putting the puck in the back of the net. It's very impressive to watch. And the way I love watching Seattle because they're just so much fun. They're just risk-free. They play such a risk-free. They just come in like kamikaze. They just go in like darts.
Yeah, it's definitely fun to watch. It's very fast-paced, good offensive hockey. And I mean, we saw so many goals between these two teams in this series. It was wild. But that leads us to another topic here. The goaltending in this one, this series overall, I'd say both Ottinger and Grubauer, who we talked about probably being difference makers in this series, they both really kind of struggled. And I mean, both these goalies looked amazing in round one, like absolutely like lights out. But there were some soft goals coming in this series.
No, the goalies needed to play better. I was thinking if Grubauer made like a few more saves, like 5 more saves in the series, I think they could have easily won this series.
No, it was that close. It's like which goalie made one extra save basically in the end. But hopefully for Ottinger, he bounces back against Vegas in the next one. And Grubauer, I mean, overall, like not the worst year, better than last year where he really struggled. Overall this year, he's slowly getting back to his old like Vezina nominee form. So it should be good to see. Looking at Seattle Kraken's future here, just a little bit before we kind of go on to Dallas again, but this team actually looks like it has a really bright future. I mean, just to make that big of a jump in 1 year, and then also on top of that, like, I mean, they got some good prospects to look forward to. Shane Wright, who's going to be great. I know a lot of people in the media slam this guy for whatever reason, and they're just hating, saying he's a bust and stuff, but he's not a bust. He'll be a great player for Seattle, and he's going to get going. He's marinating in the AHL right now. He's not even doing too bad down there. I think this guy will jump up to this team, and like over time, like Matty Beniers kind of maturing a little bit more, Shane Wright, plus all these other guys like Yanni Gourde, who plays his role really nicely. Eberle's still got a lot in the tank. This team could be competitive for years to come.
Yeah, I mean, their GM is very good at finding players that no teams don't want, and they're able to like change them into really good hockey players, like Tolvanen. Like when Nashville just put him on waivers, and you see Seattle picking him up for free, and then he became really, really good, as you can see in the series. He was putting up, I think he put up 7 points in the series. Impressive.
He was unreal. What an ad for that team. I mean, this
and then
guy...
Bjorkstrand.
Yeah.
Right?
No, but Tolvanen, just to go on a little bit with that, this guy was always projected to be a really, really good player. As a prospect, he was a high-end prospect in almost everyone's scouting reports for a long time. He was like that guy who was going to break out, but never really did. Then he got to Seattle, and he really broke out. And, I mean, they're laughing. I mean, they paid almost nothing to get this guy. And now they got a guy who's potentially going to be a top 6 forward for them over the next, like, 5 to 7 years or so.
Yeah, and you already touched on this already. I really like Matty Beniers, one of my favorite players, actually probably in the NHL. Especially a first-year player to play this good is so impressive. He just reminds me of like a young Patrice Bergeron. He's so good defensively, he's good offensively. He's a good, solid two-way centerman.
He doesn't look like a 20-year-old.
Yeah.
His maturity on the ice is impressive as hell. He just has composure at all times. He doesn't panic with the puck. He's always just very controlled. And, I mean, that's what you want, especially in the playoffs. You don't want a guy who's going to panic and dump the puck or chip the puck away and, like, get a penalty or icing. This guy is just so smooth, and I absolutely love this kid, and he's going to be a star for this team.
What do you think about Seattle's defense core?
The defense core really impressed me this year. Honestly, career year by Vince Dunn. Schultz really stepped it up. His two-way game got better. He used to be just like a power play defenseman. Now he's actually like good all around. And just the other guys too, like Larson had such a great year. Like borderline all-star caliber year for a defenseman. No one ever thinks about Adam Larson in that way, really. But, I mean, this guy, like, he gets, like, over 150 blocks, over 150 hits. He was really high in plus-minus this year. I mean, this guy is just all around just talented.
Oh, I know how much I'm an Oilers fan, and I know how much we're missing Adam Larson. I was telling people the other day, if we had Adam Larson on the right side instead of Cody Ceci, it would be in a lot of different series.
You might have been going to the Western Final, yeah.
Yeah.
No, wild. But yeah, Seattle fans, just really happy for you. You had such a great year, and I think this team has a lot of promise. So sure, you might have had a heartbreaker of a loss in Game 7, but you'll be back, and you'll be a good team for years to come.
You guys are hella fun to watch, too. Oh my gosh, I love watching your team.
Definitely. Just one quick thing before we wrap this one up here. I know we're going to have another video about this, but Dallas Stars, with the way they look, you think they got a decent chance to win a Stanley Cup maybe this year?
Of course they can. Any team in the top 4 that makes it to the top 4 are very good teams. So, of course they have a chance.
Yeah, I feel like they have a pretty good chance, honestly.
Yeah.
Pretty good roster. But guys, until next time, take care and have a great day. Enjoy the rest of the playoffs.
Take care, guys. Bye.